Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my college basketball Bank Shop best bet, you can find those at the premium picks tab, pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Tuesday in college hoops. First up, we see Marquette and Butler. This one's going to be a 6:30 Eastern start time. It's going to be on Fox Sports 1. And I got to give credit to Butler. They're playing really good basketball as of late. They've won 5 of their last 6 games, and they're just coming off a win over Providence on Saturday, 75-72. But I do think that Marquette is still the much better team here. I think Butler is a bit overvalued because of their recent success. And Marquette's playing with revenge in this game. They lost to Butler in upset fashion back on January 10th. That was a 69-62 final score. In that game, Butler, 10 of 22 from 3, 45.5%, while Marquette, who's normally a good shooting team, they're 21st in effective field goal percentage. They shot a miserable 5 of 31 from 3, 16.1%, and 45% from two-point range as well. Marquette's shooting 58% from 2 overall this season. So one of their worst shooting performances of the season, but I think they bounce back here. Neither of these teams are great on the glass, really, on the offensive or defensive side, so they kind of cancel out there. But when it comes to turnovers, Marquette does a great job not only taking care of the basketball, as both teams do, but also forcing a lot of turnovers. I think we see Marquette get some revenge here. I'm going to take Marquette on the road. They've proven they can win on the road in this conference. I mean, look at they're on a nice 7-game win streak right now, and of those 7 wins, 4 of those were true road wins. St. John's, DePaul, obviously a weak team there, but Villanova, Georgetown in non-conference play, they beat Illinois on the road. So give me Marquette in this one. I'm going to lay the points. Next up, we see Pittsburgh and Virginia. This one's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on the ACC network. And we've talked about a team that you can trust on the road in Marquette because they've won a good amount of true road games in conference play. Same thing goes for Pittsburgh. This has also been a team that's really impressive on the road this season. They've got road wins. Last time out against NC State, their most recent game, a 3-point victory, but also at Georgia Tech, at Louisville, at West Virginia, a very underrated place to play in college hoops. West Virginia's had some nice home games this year. And most importantly, the win at Duke, 80-76, the final score. Really impressive victory for the Panthers in that one. And I like Pittsburgh here. I think they're a live dog. Virginia, 8-game win streak. Really impressive stuff from them. But along the way of this 8-game win streak, only 2 of those wins were over top 70 KenPom teams. That was Virginia Tech and Clemson. And that was a 1-point win and an 8-point win. So some single-digit victories in those matchups. And I worry about covering a number even at home here with Virginia because this offense is not great. The defense, we know, Tony Bennett defenses are always going to be top 10, top 20, just the defensive efficiency. They force turnovers, they force tough shots. But the offense for Virginia, while it's a really good 3-point shooting team, they're not a great 2-point shooting team. They are not great on the offensive glass. They don't get to the free throw line much, and they're one of the worst free throw shooting teams in all of power basketball, Power 5, Power 6 basketball, 337th ranked in the nation in free throw shooting, 65.6% as a team. If this is a close game late and Pittsburgh is forced to foul, let's say they're trailing, they're forced to foul, I don't know if you can trust Virginia to make those key free throws when it comes to covering this spread and potentially winning this game in general. I think Pittsburgh's a live dog. I'm going to take them plus the points and on the money line. I think there's value there. I think Pittsburgh could pull off another road upset. Next up, we see Oklahoma and Baylor. This one's going to be a 9 p.m. Eastern start time on ESPN2. Baylor coming off a tough loss at Kansas. They were able to cover the number, but if you're a program like Baylor, you're looking for those outright W's in those types of games. That was a 64-61 final score. Baylor, just a really uncharacteristically poor offensive performance in that one. They had 21 turnovers. They only shot 30.8% from 3, 71% from the free throw line. I think we should expect much better, much sharper performances from Baylor offensively going forward, and I think this is a really good spot for them at home, playing an Oklahoma team that just hasn't done well on the road in conference play. They have the win at Kansas State and Cincinnati, but other than those, they lost to TCU by 9, lost to Kansas by 12, lost to UCF by 11. Not a great loss there. And to me, I thought Oklahoma really wasn't tested much in non-conference play. They were ranked 318th in non-conference strength of schedule. I was worried that was going to hurt them in some of these types of games, at Baylor, at Kansas. And so far, when they've stepped it up on the road, they have struggled quite a bit. I think Baylor, playing after that loss, going to be probably pretty fired up here. This would be a nice statement win for the Baylor Bears if they can get it at home. like I said, I think we see much sharper performances. Baylor's number 3 in the country in three-point shooting, and their free throw shooting isn't as good as what we've seen in recent years from Baylor, but they're still a top 150 free throw shooting team. So I think we see Baylor get back to the basics here offensively. I'm going to take the Bears and lay the points at home. Next up, we'll stay in the Big 12 as UCF takes on BYU. This one's going to be a 9 p.m. Eastern start time. It's going to be on ESPN+. Now, these teams already played once this season. BYU won that game on the road 63-58 in Orlando. And while, the UCF is playing with revenge here, I'd much rather take them in a revenge spot when they're playing at home. On the road at BYU, a tough place to play. I just don't love their chances here. In that first meeting, BYU is not the strongest fundamentally. They gave up 17 offensive rebounds. They turned the ball over 13 times, maybe because they were on the road. But overall this season, BYU is a fundamentally sound team. They're 9th best in defensive rebounding percentage. They take care of the basketball. I don't think we see those issues that we saw in that first game in this matchup. And even if we did, that BYU still won that first game on the road. And now at home, I do like their chances to win this game and cover the number. We saw BYU against Kansas State last time out. We took them and laid the points, and unfortunately BYU kind of blew that big lead late. They were up by as many as 17 points in that one. It was a 58-41 score with only 8:45 to go. They kind of took their foot off the pedal, but it's not like BYU's done that all season. We've seen this team put together a lot of double-digit wins. They did so against West Virginia. They did so against Texas at home. They beat Iowa State by 15 points at home. They beat Wyoming by in blowout fashion in non-conference play. NC State, they beat them by 9 points in a neutral site. So BYU has definitely put together some lopsided victories. I don't think they're going to take their foot off the pedal in this matchup. And like I said, UCF, a solid defensive team. I'd much rather take them as a home dog on the road. I worry about that offense. They're ranked 288th in effective field goal percentage, 269th in turnover percentage offensively. This game could get away from UCF really early. I'm going to take BYU here and lay the points. Next up, we see Colorado State and San Diego State. This one's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. The final game we're going to talk about for the Tuesday card in college basketball. Colorado State, another one of those teams. I like backing them when they're home, not so much on the road. Colorado State's on a 4-game win streak right now, but 3 of those 4 wins were at home. They beat San Jose State, Boise State, and the San Diego State Aztecs, but only one true road win along the way in that 4-game win streak. That was against Fresno State, one of the weaker teams in the conference. And overall, Colorado State's got 19 wins on the season, but only 3 true road wins. And of those 3 wins on the road, none of them against teams inside the top 150 in KenPom. So they have not really been tested much on the road, and when they've stepped it up, we've seen them lose, just outright lose to Utah State, Boise State, Nevada, and even Wyoming. Not a great loss there to Wyoming. And San Diego State playing with revenge after losing the first matchup of the season series, playing after a loss, outright loss to Nevada in their last game in overtime, pretty tough one there. I think San Diego State, the defending runner-ups in the national championship, should be fired up for this game. In that first meeting between these two teams, San Diego State actually shot pretty well from the perimeter, but not so much from two-point range. That's where Colorado State had a big advantage in that one, 67.7% from two-point land. But I think we see San Diego State sharpen up defensively. They were still fundamentally okay in that one, in an offensive rebound advantage. And like I said, Colorado State's just been a different team. They're an amazing team at home. They have a great home court advantage, but on the road, I can't get there with them. Give me San Diego State in this one. I'm going to lay the points to end the night. And that's it. Those are the games for Tuesday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium, and there's a link in the description. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.